If you've been watching my videos for a bit, you've probably noticed something about me. I'm more sensitive than nipples in a wind tunnel. That's right, I'm not like other gamers. I'm not about drinking dew, downing Doritos, or destroying noobs in Club Penguin. Nope, I'm all about emotion in my games. The silent tragedy of Fallout's world, the transformation of Jason Brody from trust fund douche to monster, the interesting questions about existence and the unknown that are posed by the Zone and Stalker, and of course Miku-san's emotional journey in Dancing with Anime Girls VR. Despite just a minute ago where I said I'm not like other gamers in a super self-masturbatory way, I know I'm not alone. There's only one thing that hardcore gamers love more than not wearing deodorant, and that's Star Wars, and Marvel movies, and Jurassic Park, and Terminator, and Alien, and all these movies have something in common. You can instantly emotionally connect with the characters in these franchises. If I was trapped in the most 80s nightclub ever with a dump truck-sized murder robot, I'd be scared shitless too. Or if I found out that my dad was actually Space Hitler, I'd be pretty bummed out.
I am your father.
Far Cry New Dawn is a good game. It's pretty, it has fun combat, it has a solid core gameplay loop that lends itself to a somewhat grindy but still fulfilling progression. It's a game that works. Todd Howard would be proud. As a matter of fact, I'd go so far as to say that the gameplay is actually a big improvement on Far Cry 3, which I fucking love. So why does nobody like it? The easy answer is, it's the same map. It's a AAA asset flip. Just a cheap cash-in. But I don't think so. Well, no, it definitely is, but I don't think that's the problem. Not really. For those of you that haven't played Stalker, these games share the same map, with minor visual tweaks. Much smaller tweaks, in fact, than those between Far Cry 5 and Far Cry New Dawn. Clear Sky came out after Shadow of Chernobyl, and is honestly basically the same game, with the only real difference being that it's somehow even fucking harder. It could have easily just been some DLC that came with a dude that yells distracting shit at you while you play, and it would have been the same thing. They're both great though. Stalker fans and critics alike both forgave this because there's something there. There's a mystery to uncover, an interesting philosophical question posed by the game's setting. There's something that you can connect to on an emotional level. Far Cry New Dawn lacks heart. It lacks any and all emotion. Well, actually, that's not quite right. This is Timber. He's basically the most important thing in the world to me.
That's the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Timber is a dog, and therefore an angel. And when you get into a motorcycle, he gets in the sidecar. I really wanted to show you that. That's so fucking cute. Oh my god.
But if anything happened to him, I would kill everyone in this room and then myself.
He's brave and adorable and everything I hope to be someday. It's not enough, though. Because he has no place in the story, he's just some random follower. But something I had to mention. We, as people, can empathize with just about anything, even a dog made out of ones and zeros. There's a YouTube Red show, the only one worth watching, in fact, that stars Vsauce Michael here as he explores various ideas. In one of the episodes, he exposed people to a small toy bug with an electric motor in it. In the first group, he just handed them the bug without turning on the motor and told them to smash it. And no one hesitated because why would they? Smashing shit is fun, and these are just bits of plastic, who cares? But with the second group, he did this.
This is Margaret, okay? I'm gonna place Margaret down here. I just want you to take a moment to watch Margaret, all right?
And then...
Take this mallet and smash Aaron.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Joe, I'm sorry.
I'll be the one
I'd
if
like
you
you to
want
smash
me
it.
to.
No, I don't want to hurt it.
Anywhere I
How did it feel
What a
to
father.
smash Aaron?
It didn't feel good, you know.
It doesn't take much for people to connect with something emotionally. A name, some movement, some pain, some fear, some doubt. Jason Brody was just some rich kid and then a murderer. I've never been either of those things, and unless my idea for an amusement park where you commit war crimes ever takes off, I never will be. But pain, fear, and doubt are universal human emotions. It wasn't hard to connect with Jason. Because despite the fact that I never really liked him, I still understood him. He had a real personality, which, people have. It's a difficult thing, though, having a personality, because some people won't like the one that you have. That's fine, that's life. Some people won't like your personality, and you won't like some people because of theirs. Far Cry New Dawn doesn't have to deal with this, though. Far Cry New Dawn is the video game equivalent of fucking Wall-E from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Boy, it sure is a hot one today, huh? Okay.
With the notable exception of the goodest boy in the whole damn world, you will not emotionally connect with this game. There's nothing to connect to. This is a mayonnaise sandwich of a game, and it's good. It's well executed and is pretty fun on a moment-to-moment basis. There's nothing wrong with mayonnaise between two pieces of bread, it just needs some ham or turkey. Far Cry New Dawn is part of a new breed of games that most refer to as live service games, but I just call them podcast games. Podcast games, which are stretched out and lack personality so that they won't scare you off by making you think any dangerous thoughts, are becoming more and more common. Podcasts become the ham in the sandwich. These games lack personality, so they require you to supply it in the form of podcasts, music, or the personality of your friends that you're playing the game with. I feel like Fallout 76 is the only live service game that avoids this by virtue of that classic Bethesda open-world design, mixed with Fallout's striking visual style. It has many flaws, but it also has something to say. What will those that come after us think? Will they walk in the shadows of our great works? Or will they choke on the dust of our failures? It's poignant and powerful. I can ignore so much about that game because I connected to it on an emotional level. But I don't have to ignore anything about Far Cry New Dawn, because it's good. The stupid fucking microtransactions are there, but they're not aggressively irritating like in 76, which has a fucking pop-up every time I open the game, because I guess the game thinks I won't feel complete as a person until I purchase the contemporary wood floors. Honestly, if there was a choice to spend money to just remove the damn pop-up forever, I would actually consider paying it.
So I'm gonna pay you $100 to fuck off.
While I don't have to ignore anything about Far Cry New Dawn, it also doesn't have anything to say. I mean, it's post-apocalyptic. It's not hard. Just make it sad. Fallout 76's world is a sad reminder of the prosperity that preceded the bombs, but New Dawn? There's some houses, I guess. They're buried by sand. But honestly, everyone seems to more or less be in an okay mood. They are aggressively wacky. Your headquarters, they seem pretty nice. The animals aren't irradiated abominations like they are in Fallout either. They're just more colorful than normal animals. There are a lot of flowers as well, which is very pretty. Honestly, just looking out my window, this world looks nicer than mine. The fact that this apocalypse actually seems pretty nice could have been remedied by the player character having some sort of struggle, but he's completely silent. Probably because if he was voiced, then he might say something that the audience doesn't like, therefore causing them to stop playing and not buy those Far Cry fun bucks. There's a fucking part where you go on a vision quest and fight a bear that's actually the manifestation of your sins. You don't have a character. He's just a blank avatar that doesn't talk. What the fuck? Why? What sins? That could have been an interesting part of a real character's arc, but there is no character arc. There is no character. This is like watching a dramatic character study of Plank from Ed, Edd and Eddy. The villains, Sister, or whatever their fucking names were, are bland. Far Cry's whole thing has been having interesting villains, but they're just violent assholes. They aren't dark reflections of the protagonist like Voss, despotic dictators with a shockingly complex past with your family like Pagan Min, or even just charismatic, mesmerizing, and creepy like Joseph Seed was with his fucking pedo sunglasses. They're just violent warlords with pink biker helmets. Oh yeah, Far Cry New Dawn loves pink. I think because it's a bright and memorable color, which is everything that the game is not. They just painted everything pink, but that's not a personality. If you made Ben Stein wear a pink shirt, he wouldn't suddenly be likable or relatable. I'm not saying this game needs to be some emotional roller coaster that made me reconsider my entire life. I'm just asking for it to give me something. Anything to latch onto. Far Cry 3's strength was that it used its gameplay to tell the story. But I'm not even asking for that. That's really goddamn hard to do. I'm just asking for this game to make me feel something. Some fear, some anger, some intrigue. Just flash some goddamn tits on the screen and at least have me feel some arousal. I'm a human being. I don't have a hard time connecting with things. Just look at Timber. I would die for this digital dog. Just make the story about him. Timber and I stumble onto a valley ruled by the fucking, goddamn it, the Parent Trap? whatever their fucking names were, and we liberate the place. That's it. That's all I need. I get it. It can be hard to write characters that are really likable or interesting. But you know what's not hard to write? A dog. Put a dog in there, people will connect with it emotionally every time. You know why they didn't do this? Because I do. Yes, I've wiretapped those French-Canadian fucks, and I have the receipts.
Corporate accounts payable, Nina speaking. Just a moment.
Well, Mr. Ubisoft, I got the plot outline for New Dawn. Is it risky or bold? You know how much I hate that. Don't worry, sir, it's a generic story about a lone wanderer and his dog liberating people from warlords. A dog? Yes, sir. We figure it'll be a cheap but effective way to get some emotion from the player when we inevitably kill it because, we're writers, and therefore get massive erections from killing dogs. I see. Tell me, is that your dog right there next to you? Yes? Good. Why would you do that? Oh, are you getting emotional? Do you feel sadness, anger, or fear right now? Yes, all of them. Good. Now give me $10. What? People that are experiencing emotions will not buy Far Cry Fun Bucks. Didn't they teach you that in creative writing class? No, they taught me how to write stories that connect with people. Well, that's fucking gay. Come back with some bland shit, with boring characters fighting boring villains in a boring place. Oh, and pink. Make everything pink. I'm told humans enjoy bright colors. It's not hard to extract emotion from people. We're emotional creatures. I've recently been playing some Half-Life Alyx mods, and this made me feel emotions.
Sustenance! Calm. I thought what we had was special!
This is an interactive shitpost, but it still got me to fucking feel something. Everything that the Vortigaunt did made me laugh, and when he exploded, I was surprised. I know that Ubisoft can make a story that connects with people because anyone can do it. Baby shoes for sale. Never worn. 6 words. 6 sad words that Ernest Hemingway wrote on a napkin after betting his friends that he could write a 1-sentence story. Although apparently I'm an idiot and the story actually predates Hemingway, so I guess some random guy that for some reason had to make someone real sad real fast came up with it. Far Cry New Dawn sales numbers are down from previous entries in the franchise. Way down, like less than Primal, which is pretty impressive if, you're impressed by mediocrity. It takes a certain amount of skill to fuck up that bad. People are blaming Far Cry fatigue and the recycling of the map for the poor sales, but honestly, I think it's a lack of personality and emotion. They probably got a good amount of money on the back end, but you can't get people in the door if you don't offer them something to connect with. Even the intro is emotional white noise. This is post-apocalyptic. This is not fucking hard. First things were good, now they're bad, because we fucked up. What happens in the intro in New Dawn? First things were good, then they were bad. Then they were good, then they were bad. Hopefully they'll be good again soon. What the fuck is that? For God's sake, Ubisoft, just say something. I've really been racking my brain trying to figure out why this game doesn't even attempt to engage you emotionally when that's such an easy thing to do. But really, I think Ubisoft is just goddamn scared of saying something. It makes sense, I guess. Gamers are notoriously upset when a game gets political. Although when gamers say a game got political, what they usually mean is there's a gay person in there now. I've never heard people complain about how BioShock's moral choice system is an indictment of libertarianism, or that bit in Modern Warfare where you get your ass nuked. People don't complain about this stuff, but they do still, years afterwards, talk about it. Because these were emotional moments that stick with you. Although that nuke bit in Modern Warfare was more tone-deaf than the celebrities in that coronavirus Imagine video. Wow, I really need to get better at being topical. We've moved on to a whole new tragedy. I'm not even asking for Ubisoft to get controversial. Dogs aren't controversial. Nukes are bad isn't controversial. Just have a theme, a message, some heart. Even Far Cry 5, which pulled its punches when it came to making a real political statement, had interesting moments with some tension like this.
What's going on?
Dispatch?
Oh my god.
Everything is just fine here. No need to call anyone.
Yes, Father.
Praise be to you.
Joseph Seed makes a return in New Dawn, which I knew about before playing it, and I was excited to see him again. If anyone could add some fucking personality to this game, it would be Man Bun McBible Thumper. But guess what happens when you find him up in the mountains? I guess he's been jamming Xanax up his ass non-stop since the bombs dropped, because now he's just so goddamn boring.
I thought that it would be glorious. I was wrong. I have waited so long for someone to come.
You know my solution to this problem, right? Make him a dog. I just keep jumping to make everyone and everything a fucking dog, but dogs are likable and endearing. They have a distinctly fun personality unless they're a chihuahua. It's just what the story in this game desperately needs. Some semblance of real human or canine emotion. As I've said a million times throughout this video, this isn't hard to do. Making games is hard. Making your audience feel isn't. So why didn't they do it? They thought that emotions don't sell, I guess. But the thing is, they do. Far Cry New Dawn is just so remarkable to me. Critics and fans alike have basically just said this game is AIDS! 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 But it's not. The world is visually pleasing, the gameplay loop is satisfying, the takedowns are more beautifully brutal than ever. Even the leveled enemies, while certainly a bit out of place, do push you to level up and exploit the gameplay loop as much as you can. This is, mechanically speaking, the best Far Cry game, at least to me. There are weak aspects of it, namely the hunting, but there's really nothing from a gameplay perspective that would justify these user and critic reviews. IGN gave this game a fucking 7.5. I could box up a turd and mail it to IGN with a $5 bill stapled to the box and they would give me a 9.5. I keep saying that this game is an emotional wasteland that has nothing to offer the player, but that's not true. This game made me sad, because it's a good game, it's almost a great game, but it's not worth your time.